back. We were down, not a huge ton of time, but we played a bunch of games in that short little time. If we played 4 games in 7 days, so a little bit of a break was okay. Obviously, it was a little more extended than we'd like, but we totally understand the reasoning for it, and it was definitely a good call. I think the university made a good call with it. We had a lot of people filtering back into the campus, and I think it was cautious, but it was the right choice.
All right, open it up to questions for anyone. Just raise the hand there under the reactions there for any of you that have any questions for Coach. Brady?
Well, Coach, you've been through a couple of these pauses now. Do you feel like, as you go through them and you're trying to prepare your team and stay sharp throughout them, are you adapting your coaching techniques or the way that you're keeping the team fresh through these different pauses?
No, it's difficult for sure because normally planning you can judge the energy levels of guys. So we have to use a little bit of technology, our catapult system, to find out how much we're actually working each day, and we just have to be smart with it because at the end of the day we want legs on Friday and Saturday. So practices have not been very long; they've been hard but short because guys they were off 9 or 10 days so of no real activity. So that's a good amount of time, and we don't want to get out there for an hour and 40 minutes and blow their legs out. So we've been probably about 50 minutes each day. Just trying to make sure it's hard, but just make sure we have legs for Friday and Saturday.
Joe?
So BC will be playing their second and third game within about a 5-day span this weekend. So do you think that gives your team a slight advantage from a fatigue standpoint, or is the layoff more detrimental when it comes to a team that's played that many games in a short span?
Yeah, that's a good question. It's hard to tell what their team's doing and their energy levels. As far as us, we've been on a couple different pauses. It's been challenging, but we've seemed to react pretty well to it. So hopefully we can do that. So it's as far as advantage, disadvantage, I think anyone can make an excuse this year. At the end of the day, whoever we have, whatever we have, how much we can practice, we just got to make sure we're positive and we're pushing to try to get to our game early. We haven't played a game in a while now. So we're going to try to find our game as quick as we can in that first period.
Brady?
Well, you talk about, whoever we have, whatever we have, and that's kind of been the case here going, guys in and out of the lineup, and you have to assume that's something that's going to continue. So as you go forward here, what can you say, I guess, about that kind of next man up mentality, or really whatever your team needs to do to fill the holes that are going to appear?
Yeah, no, it's not the easiest thing in the world, putting guys in situations that maybe they're potentially not ready for or necessarily expecting. But I think our guys have done a good job of kind of relishing some opportunities. Some guys that maybe wouldn't have got the ice time are pretty excited about that. So, and it is kind of a next man up mentality. We have had a lot of guys coming and going, but our guys have been positive with a lot of things that they could be negative about. So it's exciting to see just their energy each day. And we always have their attention because after you come off a pause, you got their attention. It's not like they're getting sick of hearing from us because we haven't been out there that much.
Rick?
Going back to the last time the team was on the ice, it's obvious that when David Ferris has the puck on his stick, he becomes a magnet for defenders, and that opens guys up. And I guess one of the reasons Peterson had such an open shot for that goal. Is that something that the players are looking to at this point? Knowing that when people go for Ferris, they got to move to open spots.
Yeah, I think anyone that sees what Dave does on the ice, they understand that he's got the ability to beat guys one-on-one, and he's got the ability to thread the needle. So if you put yourself in a good shooting spot, like Peterson was, and some other guys have been, especially up on the power play there, over time, it's, he's an elite player. I said it before, I think he's one of the best players in the country, and it's a luxury to have him this year.
Andrew?
Hey, Albie, you sort of already alluded to this, but any concerns? You guys seem to really have been rolling, before you had to take this mini break. Any concerns, getting back into this as you get ready to face the #1 team in the country?
Not really. We had an extended pause of 36 days. We practiced 4 times and played a game. So this little pause is not the end of the world. Our guys are just excited to play, whenever it be, practice, and especially the games, especially when you play BC, obviously a rival and a team that's been pretty hot, and a team that looks like they're very strong in all 3 positions, especially in the net. So he's definitely a puzzle that not a lot of people figured out, and so you're gonna have to shoot a lot and try to get to the net and score some rebounds and hopefully get some traffic on them. So I just think the excitement for our guys is outweighs any sort of negativity or pause we've been on. So and we're excited too. Like everyone in the program, whenever we get to play, we're just happy about it.
I realize that this season you guys haven't been playing in front of fans, but still part of the lore of the BC BU rivalry is the fans, whether it's at Aganis or Walter Brown or over in Conti Forum. How weird will it be to not be playing BC in an empty rink?
It sounds like it would be strange, but it once the games get going, the intensity's there. You don't really notice. I was watching the BC Northeastern game last night, and I think one of the defensemen scored his first college goal towards the end of the game. The excitement from them and their bench was equivalent to anything that we'll see this weekend. And it's guys are competitive and passionate, and at the end of the day, points are on the line. And it's an exciting opportunity for us.
Greg?
Do you anticipate some weeks coming up where there'll be more than 2 games in a 7-day span? And if so, how does some of the losses to injuries, tie and the extended loss for Ethan Phillips complicate that?
I hope not, and I hope so at the same time. So it's you want to play as many games as you can when you're potentially depleted and think guys are down. You want to just make sure the energies and the safety's there. But any games that we can play, we'd be excited about. And if we're a little gunned and a little tired, then we're gonna have to find a way to grind through it. So because at the end of the day, we just have to be good at the end of the season. So we're trying to get better every day, and if we can play more games, it'll allow us to have the opportunity to compete at that level, and show what we can do and show what our team looks like towards the end of the year.
So the league hasn't given you any guidance to say to expect weeks like that at this point?
There's always conversations about it. I think we've got opportunity to play some midweek games. I just think it's, we come off a 10-day pause. We got 2 games. We're going to practice 4 times, play 2 games. I don't know that logically it makes a lot of sense this week. But if we get given one, we get given one, and we'll work with it.
And finally, do you have some players coming back who have been out recently?
The lineup is not quite set yet. I'll just say that. Could be, could not. Like we're day to day with a lot of guys, so we're day to day, week to week with some others. So we get a new set of information every day. So we just kind of, whatever we have, we work with, and we try to work around, and we'll, whoever we have in the lineup, we're excited about them. And we just have to be positive, and just, if guys are playing maybe more minutes than they're supposed to, it's a good opportunity for them, and it'll pay dividends down the road.
Go ahead, Greg.
Afternoon, Coach. I know you kind of answered this a little in some of your last questions about scheduling, but I want to know, because of the latest pause, is there any sort of magic number of games for you? And is that number potentially 7?
I don't know the exact number off the top of my head. We'd like to play as many as we can as a university, and our players and the coaching staff. The only reason I said that the midweek next week might be a little bit difficult, just because we haven't practiced a lot, and we're going to play 5 games in 7 days or 9 days, whatever it is. So that's just a a great amount of hockey when you haven't played a lot of hockey. So, but yeah, if they give us a Tuesday, Wednesday game, so be it. I think our guys will be excited no matter what. Like, they just want to play.
Any chance you can say what's going on midweek next week?
I'm not really sure yet. We've told that we've got a possibility of playing, but I'm not sure.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, they give us that information as we go. I think the league's been very good at trying to accommodate some teams, especially in the midweek. You see some other teams that have had midweek, and then all of a sudden they didn't have a weekend game. So I think the flexibility of the league has been really good, especially with schools who've maybe played a lot or a little. So we're just excited about Friday. And just we're kind of focused on just BC right now for sure.
Is it a little weird maybe that this matchup's not in the Garden?
No, not really, because it's I know the Beanpot was supposed to be played, but we're just kind of looking for the regular season and just keep playing. If we end up playing down the road, future years in the Garden, great. But as of this year, we're playing at Walter Brown. We'll go over to Conti and play there and see what we can make of it.
Anything else? Rick?
Since the Beanpot's been brought up, of course, there's the online competition to see which was the fans' favorite Beanpot. And you fortunate enough to be able to play 4 times and win the Beanpot each time. Did you have a personal favorite?
My senior year was probably the favorite of mine, just because we had a lot of attrition that year before, and we were it was a little bit of a rebuild. I think we had like 12 freshmen that year. We had a number of injuries, and our decor was pretty decimated. But we had a good goaltender, Michelle Larocque. And we played BC the first night, and they were pretty loaded that year. And we knocked them off, and then we played Northeastern in the final and won there. That was probably just not wanting to break the streak and be the seniors that broke the streak. That was probably it was more relief than potentially excitement, than anything, to be honest with you.
Well, I'm looking at Bernie's Beanpot book, and there's that great picture of all of you around Beanpot, and some good write-ups about that. If people have that book, so certainly worth taking a look at.
Yeah, no, hey, it was fun winning. It was a fun night afterward, and it was nice to end up with 4 of them for sure, and not be in the class that kind of let the program down. So that was a good way to go out, at least that year, because we had so many ups and downs that year for sure.